Morning, everybody. It's Monday, the 29th of June. We're Signal Centre Talking Ball. I'm Joe Neighbour, joined by Ian Coleman and Steve O'Hare. Morning,
Good
guys.
morning.
Good
Yep.
morning.
Good weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, pretty good. Yeah, it was. I got my cover up on my pagoda.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which was really nice. And
Just
then
in
it
time
rained.
for it to get wet. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it rained yesterday, and it did sort of like. It's not completely waterproof, so a little bit scratching my head with that one. Thought it's like a sail to keep the water off, and it's
Well, you've got a muslin on top of it or something. It's not going to be waterproof.
yeah, paper. It's paper. Um, I thought paper was water repellent. It's not.
Yeah. It's recyclable, but yeah, not
Yeah,
water
that's
repellent.
that's what it was.
It
I
was
knew
an
it was
eco
something.
one, was it?
Yeah. No.
Excellent.
Um,
Okay, so market-wise today, I think expecting probably more chop. We've got obviously month end to consider.
yeah.
And normally that provides some choppy trading environments. And it looks like that's what we're set to see over the next couple of days, I would have thought. Anything
Yeah.
that stood out for you guys on the charts or on the news front that you want to discuss?
I'll let you
Um,
go first, Steve.
Morning,
well,
Tina.
Morning, team.
morning, Tina. They said. Yeah. Tina's off to work today.
Oh,
John.
great.
Well, John Lewis haven't. She doesn't want to go.
No.
John Lewis haven't
Can't say
opened
that. Put
the
on a
store.
well-watched channel like this.
Oh no, you can not want to go. I think there's a lot of people who don't want to go in, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but it's just to open the store, get it restocked because it's obviously empty at the moment because all the stock was taken out and put on online. And now it's a case of stocking it back up and getting and preparing for the masses to come battering down the doors and getting their fix of shopping.
Yeah.
Um,
Tasha been
yeah,
sharpening her scissors, ready for a.
yeah, she's gonna have a big sign on her back saying
I can
"Back
tell
the
you what,
fuck
she could
off."
do. She could do mine. That's for sure.
um, yeah, I mean, I'm sort of well. For me, the only really one I like the look of is Euro Sterling. It's broken above that 90.78 level, which I've been watching for a couple of weeks now. And on the short-term chart, looks pretty good. Maybe forming a bit of a bullish flag on there as well. So I'm looking to buy a dip. It's a little bit not that one. It's on the 4-hour chart. I can show you what I'm looking to do. That's what I was looking to do. Sort of buy a dip lower. Sort of like the range in there is about 70 ticks a day. So I think hoping for a little bit of a pullback for the rally higher. It doesn't look like we're going to get it. It's already off to the races. Also, euro yen. I'm thinking about inverted hammer on the weekly chart. So that's a slightly positive candle, although it's sort of like it's maintained the previous week's prices or been contained by the previous week's range. But I think maybe after a couple of dojis we saw on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, a little bit of a bullish hammer. Last night's price action, obviously, which is no. Let me rephrase that. All the sideways, like there was very little net change over the whole of last week, and now we're seeing a sort of like a little move up this morning. So a bit positive euro just on the short term price action. Equities a little bit wary of. I was looking to sell a rally this morning. It did have a squeeze up, didn't quite trigger.
Look at that candle in the last hour. It's sort of tried to
Yeah,
have a little bit of a push up, and it's just
yeah.
been smashed back down again by the looks of things.
Again, the 4-hour chart. I'm trying to show my trade on the 4-hour chart. I want to sell a little bit higher and have this swing high as the stop, just to sort of I don't know about equities. They feel a little bit nervy, but it's the start of the week, and like you said, end of the month. Are we going to see a little bit of a push higher again? To bore us out of the trade, and then it's sort of like you get the sell-offs overnight. Don't know.
Yeah,
Feels
that
like
seems
it.
to be the way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So what am I looking at? So just some popular bits. Gold, first of all, I've sort of had this pattern on the chart for the last couple of weeks or so, breaking out of this.
Yeah, inverse head and shoulders, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a great one because obviously it's in an uptrend overall, and ideally you want to see those in downtrends, but it looks to be working okay at the minute, and we had a decent move up from the lows that were posted on Friday at around about 3 o'clock. Um, we saw that in silver as well, Steve, which
Yeah,
smashed us out of our gun to the head trades, and we both lost despite being long
yeah.
and short of that,
We
as you
did
said.
thought that could happen.
Yeah.
Um,
So that for me looks bullish. I'm looking to buy a dip down to 17.56. Seems maybe a tad ambitious today, but you never know. And still looking for that target up there around about 18.19. So buying dips on gold. Silver, that's that candle that we saw late on Friday. Just a
yeah,
big sell off down and a very quick recovery back up, and
yeah. I like silver now.
blasted us out.
I'm a little bit more positive on silver today. I sort
Yeah.
of think that reaction higher from the swing low is pretty positive. So we got the downward trending resistance coming in around about $18, and we got 18.08, I think it is, as the resistance to break, and then 18.39 is the next target. So
Yeah.
looking to buy a dip in silver today.
Okay, doke. And oil. Overall, still quite positive on oil. I think it seems to be trading in a decent uptrend in the short term. Got a bit of a channel potentially forming here. We've got the higher low. We've got an 88.6%, and the bottom end of the channel sort of coming in around about the same sort of level, around a 35 where I'm looking to buy today. So if it's down at that kind of level, I'll be looking to buy dips on oil, and that can be seen on oil stocks as well potentially. If you're trading stocks, Ian, you looking at anything?
Yeah, sterling. I'm going the opposite way as Steve, actually. I just think the basket looks overcooked, and I think this is euro sterling. I think we're in this big wedge formation, just creeping past the 50%, but we haven't closed the day yet. So I think I'm going to be bearish on that. Sterling Swiss, opposite, ending wedge. Sterling yen, trying to buy a dip on that this morning. Got a big outside bar at the bottom of this channel. I think it's a flag formation. And Swiss crosses. I think that Swiss franc is going to move lower, so sterling higher, euro Swiss higher. I've already said sterling Swiss, euro Swiss. I think is in a wedge as well. So I think a bit of a recovery. The yen basket looks like it's moving lower as well. So I think sort of sterling yen, Aussie yen. I think we get a recovery day. Put it that way.
I think what your charts mainly that you showed us 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think could be right. We could both be right in this. I think I'm looking for a slightly shorter term move to the downside of sterling, but by midweek it could all change.
Yeah. I mean that. I mean, it's pretty choppy around here. I mean, is it a double bottom? I mean, I'm not bullish on sterling dollar, that's for sure. But I mean, we have completed this ABCD, and it's just sort of hanging around this level at the moment. But I think there's better if you want to play sterling longs. I think there's better crosses to do it with as opposed to the dollar.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's have a look at the gun to the head stuff, because there isn't really much to say. We had 3 trades on Friday, as we always do, and not really much to write home about. We had 2 trades on silver. We went long and short, and due to that big volatility that we saw, and we just talked about on the chart, that was 2 stop outs, and we also had a stop out on the dollar index as well. So overall, not particularly great. A little bit of a pullback following a sharp run up that we've had. All fairly normal in the grand scheme of things. Let's hope we can get back on the horse today with a couple of winners. So has anybody got anything they want to share with us? At the minute, I haven't particularly got anything right now. So
I'll go for this sterling Swiss if you like.
Yeah, go on in.
It's just stick that on there. So for all the reasons I've just said, Boris Johnson was had an interview with the Sunday Times at the weekend saying that he's increasing spending in schools, infrastructure, roads, and hospitals. So I think that's the fundamental side. And this is the technical side. Oh, bugger. Get there. So 117.05. I'm sure I won't get there, but 120.36 is the measured move target.
Got to be in it to win it.
Got to be in it to win it. And I'll have a 30 tick stop for some ridiculous R. 11R.
Wow.
11R. 11 to 1 shot.
Yeah.
Steve,
Is
you
it
got something?
Grand National Day? Is it?
Epsom in a couple of weeks, isn't it?
Is it?
It's all been
Creeping
pushed back,
upwards.
isn't it? It was Ascot last week, was it? Or a couple of weeks ago?
Mm.
Anyway, Steve, what you got?
I'm going to go for oil schmoil. See the shale pioneer Chesapeake Energy files for bankruptcy at long
Bloody
last.
hell, really?
Yeah, been sort of on the books for since March, and that's the sort of like they're the let me just get real. They became the largest U.S. oil and gas producer to seek bankruptcy protection in recent years as it bowed to heavy debts. So coronavirus having an impact there. I think with the equity markets under a bit of pressure, it sort of like leads to, with coronavirus spiking around the world as well. It leads to a little bit of caution on oil. I think you're looking to buy a dip in oil today, Joe.
Yeah, quite a bit lower though,
Yeah,
35,
exactly.
35.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit lower. So I don't know. You sort of like are we seeing a sort of a head and shoulders? Oh, that didn't work, did it? Are we seeing a head and shoulders formation, just a short term one? Possibly. So I'll as a little bit of a punt, I'm going to sell oil here. 37.88. And I'm going to target a move down to 34.58. And I'm going to, I'll tell you what, I'll make it, let's have a 100 tick stop on that, 38.88. There we go.
Where's your
That's
target?
3.3 to 1. 34.58.
Okay,
Good luck.
And stop at 38.88.
cool. Great. I'm going to take a look at Aussie Swiss. Not the most exotic. Well, it is a bit of an exotic pair, but not the most well traded pair. But I feel that Aussie currencies are still probably a little bit high compared to where they should be, given the recent rally that we've seen. And this is an hourly chart, potentially a top pattern that took shape back here. Rally up to the neckline, failed, and now I think trending lower. What I noticed last week on a lot of these riskier currency pairs is that they all gapped down on that last Sunday night, and there's been no sort of revisit, and that was across the Aussie and the Kiwi markets. So I think at some point we are going to get a retest of that sort of reaction low that we saw off the back of that gap lower last week. And just looking at this on a very short-term perspective, we've seen a little bit of a push higher early on today, but that's been rejected, posting that sort of shooting star candle into downtrend resistance. So I'm going to sell it there at 65.16, place a stop above that swing high that we've seen over the last hour, so only a 12 tick stop at 65.28, and I'm going to target a move down to the lows that we saw last Sunday evening at 64.78. So 3 to 1 if that comes in.
Lovely.
Good luck.
Let's see. Okay, so news-wise, more cases of coronavirus in the States.
Globally, 10 million.
Yeah, hit a big
10 million.
benchmark, didn't we, over the weekend?
Seems to be getting a bit out of control in the States, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Talking about
Florida and Texas.
yeah, southern states in particular surging most days by the looks of things. Given the early end to their lockdown, big question is how much can we actually open before the economy, benefits or doesn't benefit? When the virus spreads, when we're going to see a limit in economic activity again. I think that's the big question.
Yeah.
I saw Leicester was talking about having a local lockdown in the UK.
Yeah, saw that at the weekend. I think that's what maybe we're going to be heading. We're going to have localized lockdowns, and people being a bit more cautious in certain areas, which makes sense. And also, I saw Asia as the Middle East as the next hotspot they were talking about. Yeah, it seemed to be sort of the global recovery is definitely not global. It's going to be in sort of fits and starts all over the world. So but very concerning,
Yeah.
and
I mean,
especially
we're talking about Brits sort of starting to go abroad now. We were just having that conversation prior to
Brits abroad. Oh dear.
coming online today. You know, looking at booking holidays because we can. So you know, why wouldn't we? But you know, we're going to be able to go far and wide as of the next couple of days, aren't we?
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of people kicking back on that. I mean, I definitely wouldn't feel. You know, when you go on holiday, you want to go somewhere where you're sort of like going to enjoy yourself and relax and be able to, you know, party.
Yeah.
But it's a bit of a sort of like thing. You know, where are you going to go? What sort of restrictions are they going to have in place? Is it going to be a holiday, or do you be a little bit more patient? Just spend a bit of time locally at home.
That's the thing.
Ca
You see the state of the beaches in Bournemouth last week. Is that what it's going to be like? You know, at holiday spots in the UK throughout the summer.
Possibly.
Good chance, I think. Yeah.
We were looking at going to France, and we were looking at the Channel crossing, taking a punt a couple of weeks ago, and that was quite cheap. But since
Yeah,
then, obviously, the
saw
price
that.
has gone up quite considerably.
Has it gone up? Is it now?
Yeah, yeah.
Really? Yeah. Even flights. My son was looking at booking flights to Amsterdam. We're about 35 quid. So, but obviously that was before this the weekend. So I don't know. I have to look again maybe. But then again, Amsterdam sort of like social distancing and all that. Does that really work?
Not down the
I
back
don't
alleys,
know.
no.
Absolutely not. Okay, so data-wise today, we've got Eurozone business confidence out of the Eurozone business confidence at 10 o'clock. We are forecast to rise to -2, from -2.4. And then we have German CPI at 1, and then we have US pending home sales at 3 p.m. So a bit of data out today to keep an eye out for. But as we said, we've got this month-end effect that often distorts markets and creates some choppy conditions. So I think just tread carefully.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, unless anybody's got anything else, we can wrap out there, I guess.
No,
No,
all good.
I'm all good.
Great.
Yeah. Good luck with
Okay.
the week.
Yeah, best luck, everyone.
Yeah.
And we'll be back tomorrow.
Enjoy.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Cheers.
then. Bye.